With so many incredible-looking AAA games on the horizon, I've spent a lot of time thinking about the ones that have me buzzing with excitement. Hi folks, it's your host Lily and welcome back to PlayGridz. So today, I'm setting aside the reviews and news to share something a little more personal, my totally subjective, hype-fueled list of the upcoming games I am absolutely dying to get my hands on. This isn't a definitive ranking, just a look at the titles that I personally can't stop thinking about. Let's jump right into it. First up, a game I'm incredibly excited about is Marvel's Blade. This one is being developed by Arcane Studios, and my opinion on Arcane is simple. They are fantastic. I believe they know exactly what they're doing. They're the studio that gave me masterpieces like Dishonored and Deathloop. I know Arcane Austin was responsible for Prey, but I feel they were clearly following the blueprint established by Arcane Lion, the studio that's still with us. Honestly, I don't even want to get into how disappointed I am that Arcane Austin is gone, so I'm just going to focus on how incredible I think this game has the potential to be in Arcane's hands. In this game, I don't expect you'll have powers like Blink or any gifts from the outsider, so no runes or anything like that. But you're a vampire, and in my opinion, you're the coolest vampire to ever exist. So I believe we're going to see some incredibly interesting things from a story perspective because I think these developers are brilliant storytellers. I feel they don't receive enough recognition for their narrative skills. Dishonored is often praised for its mechanics, but I absolutely love the stories in both games. I am beyond excited for this. I like the idea that it will likely be an immersive sim set in the Marvel universe. I know Marvel's Blade is slated for PC and Xbox Series, but I don't know when, because I understand it only went into full production at the end of 2024, which means to me we're not even a full year into its development. Speaking of anticipated reboots, I have Fable Reboot. I find it incredible that this is the first mainline Fable series title since 2012, and I'm intrigued by the choice of Playground Games, the studio I know from the Forza Horizon series, to develop it. I'm also impressed that it's being built on the highly polished Forzatic engine. In many respects, I admit this seems like a peculiar developer choice, but at the same time, I feel this is a team renowned for releasing polished, functional games. If I had to guess, I would say this game will probably feel like the classic Fable we love, but with updated, modern controls, and visually, it will be unlike anything I've ever seen before. Frankly, I believe the level of interactivity that was achieved in the original is still far greater than what I see in many games today. I feel that many modern games have prioritized graphical fidelity at the cost of interactivity. So, my gut tells me this reboot is meant to address that, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I'm right. I've heard this one could be coming out next year, but I've also heard rumors that it might be pushed to 2027. I'm hoping for next year, but regardless of when it releases, I know it will be on Xbox Series and PC. From a fantasy world to a gritty, familiar one, I'm also incredibly excited for Gears of War E-Day, a game I understand is set around 13 years, or perhaps even more, before the first game in the series. I'm so excited that this is the origin story we've been waiting for, Emergence Day, the very day the Locust horde burst onto the scene. In my mind's eye, I can already picture Marcus and Dom as young, vulnerable, and inexperienced soldiers. I was happy to hear that the Coalition and People Can Fly are co-developing this title, and I'm particularly thrilled that they're not making an open-world game like Gears 5. Instead, I think they're making the right choice by focusing on a linear story that aims to capture the feel of the original game. The fact that the trailer literally features the song Mad World tells me they are serious about recapturing that classic vibe. While I haven't seen an exact release date, I know the plan is for it to launch in 2026 to coincide with the 20th anniversary of the Gears franchise, and I expect it on Xbox Series and PC. Another game that promises a return to classic vibes is Resident Evil Requiem, which is essentially the game we've been waiting for. Resident Evil 9, from what I can tell, the story throws us 30 years into the future after the original city was annihilated by a nuke to stop the Umbrella Corporation's zombie plague. It seems to me that we'll be heading back to a new Raccoon City, this time in the shoes of an FBI analyst. I find the premise fascinatingly reckless. She apparently thinks, you know what sounds like a great weekend? Investigating the haunted hotel where my mother died. Of course, I know full well there wouldn't be a game if it were actually a solid plan, so it's obvious to me that things are going to go horribly wrong. Getting back to Resident Evil Requiem. I'm thrilled that this one isn't too far away. I'm marking my calendar for its release next year on February 27th. I just can't wait to get my hands on it when it comes out for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Looking even further into the future, there's a title we know very little about, but my anticipation is through the roof for The Elder Scrolls 6. I have to be honest, we have very little information on this one. What I do know as of mid-2025 is that it's moved past pre-production and is now in active development using the Creation Engine 2. Since real news is scarce, I've seen people trying to piece things together from rumors, which is all we really have to go on. The rumor I find most credible is that the game will be set in Hammerfell. I also think the rumor about a cameo from the Skyrim grandma is a really cool idea. I wish I could give you more concrete details, but I feel anything more would just be my own speculation at this point. What I feel confident about is that it's confirmed for Xbox Series and PC. As for a release date, I have no idea. I'm guessing it will likely follow the Starfield launch model, meaning it will be exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem for a period before. I believe, if I had to guess when, I'd say probably 2027 or 2028. Of course, no list of anticipated games would be complete without mentioning the absolute titan that is Grand Theft Auto 6. Let me be perfectly clear about this. This isn't just another game, it is the game. I'm completely floored by the multi-billion-dollar budget and the sheer amount of hype that has me, and I believe everyone else, absolutely trembling with anticipation. It's my firm belief that no other developer is going to want to release a game on the same day as Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm so excited that we're going back to Vice City, but what I find interesting is that it's a modern take. The setting is now Leonida, which I see as the Grand Theft Auto universe's stand-in for Florida. From what I've gathered, it looks like we will have two main characters, which gives me Major Bonnie and Clyde vibes. For me, though, what's more important is witnessing the rise of a true cultural gaming titan. Rockstar has probably told us it's set for May 26th, 2026. What truly matters is that GTA 6 is, in my mind, finally on its way. While Rockstar is building a massive world, another studio I have immense faith in is tackling a more personal, character-driven story with Insomniac's Wolverine. I believe Insomniac's Spider-Man games are successful in part because they respect that comic books are, first and foremost, stories. Since I don't have much official information about this game, all I can really do is go by the fact that Insomniac made the Spider-Man games and has stated that this one will be more mature. What I think we should consider is how masterfully Insomniac handled the Spider-Man character. From a gameplay perspective, I find the web slinging in both of Insomniac's Spider-Man games to be immensely satisfying, which tells me they are committed to making the hero's powers feel right. I really hope this means they are looking at the old X-Men Origins Wolverine game for inspiration. We don't have a firm date, but I know it won't be released until March 2026 at the very earliest. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out much later, but whenever it does, I know it will be a PlayStation 5 exclusive, although I would guess it will eventually be released on PC. From one iconic character to another, I've got my eyes on 007, First Light, the James Bond project from the developers at IO. As I understand it, this game will serve as an origin story for Bond. We'll see him at 26 years old, on the verge of getting his 000 license. And I think this will be a portrayal of the character we haven't witnessed before. I'm thrilled that IO decided to go all in on world building and create their unique version of Bond. You can definitely see the Hitman DNA in there, but to me, there's so much more to it. I love that you're not just limited to stealth or combat. You can even try to bluff or charm your way out of situations. In my opinion, this game looks absolutely fantastic. Honestly, everything I've seen about it makes me desperately want to play it. I'm eagerly awaiting First Light, which I know is set to release on PS5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch 2, PC on March 27th, 2026. But if there's one fantasy RPG that might just top them all for me, it has to be Witcher 4. It feels like it's been such a long time since The Witcher 3, and in my opinion, that game still holds up remarkably well. I absolutely adore The Witcher 3. Graphically, I can see some definite signs of its age, but I believe in every other respect. It was a game far ahead of its time. I'm also really happy that this new game is kicking off a trilogy centered on Ciri. I personally love the character of Ciri. What is this appearing as CDPR's proprietary tech? I think their move to Unreal Engine 5 was absolutely the right decision. especially when I remember the disastrous launch of Cyberpunk. I've heard that the best case scenario for its launch is 2027 or maybe even later, but I know for sure that Witcher 4 is confirmed for PS5, PC, and Xbox Series. I am convinced it's going to be one hell of a game. And for something that looks like a totally new and ambitious take on the open world genre, I have to mention Crimson Desert. To me, it looks like the developers are attempting to fuse the best parts of Dragon's Dogma and The Witcher 3. This is the follow-up to Black Desert Online from Pearl Abyss, and it has evolved into this massive, incredible-looking open-world game that I find truly impressive. The game's setting is a continent named Pywell. I find the story setup compelling, the king is comatose, leading to chaos, and you step into the role of the leader of a mercenary group. What gets me excited are all the features I've seen, like horseback duels, combat heavy on combos, grappling hooks, and even pet dogs. I think this is a really cool looking game, and I know it was delayed, so now I'm expecting it in the first quarter of 2026 for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. I am genuinely looking forward to this one. I also have a quick bonus game for you, and that's Battlefield 6. As you probably know, I've lamented the state of that series quite a bit, but I'm hopeful because this one is supposedly a return to form with a major focus on destructible environments. It seems to me that they've drawn some inspiration from the finals when it comes to destruction. I'm excited because they're talking about implementing both macro and micro destruction that, as they put it, can redefine play spaces mid-match. I love the sound of that because I am a huge fan of the finals, but I can say that it is a massive upcoming AAA game that I am genuinely eager to play. The great news for me is that we don't have to wait too long for this one. It's scheduled to be released on October 10th for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. And that's everything I've got for today. Please feel free to leave a comment and let us know your thoughts and what you are personally looking forward to. Thanks for watching.